Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is day 15 of trying to reach the rating of 2000 ELO online. I'm right now 1811. After I got some points, I got my 7 points back because a cheater was playing against me in the last game. We're gonna play another 50-minute game and hopefully we're gonna win this one. My highest speed was like 1816, so okay, we're gonna go with d4 against an 1843. Okay, d4, d5, c4. Okay, Queen's Gambit declined. We developed the knight, we developed the other knight. And now we just get the bishop out on f4 or g5 before we play e3. Okay, so now we play this. I think I want to play bishop to f4 because bishop on g5 he can just unpin himself. So this looks more juicy. We're gonna play e3. He wants to trade the bishops. There is a variation I saw in a Gotham chess video where you just allow him to W up your pawns. But in this position, I'm not gonna do that. Take. You're gonna open up on your, And if he takes here, I think we have to play a4 to stop him from playing b5 and defending the pawn. And if he did not take, we're just gonna play e3, or we're just gonna take. It is the same thing. Okay, now we're gonna play e3. In case you take, we take with the bishop, and everything's fine. He's from Holland, Netherlands. Okay. So if he takes right now, he's gonna make my rook very active. This move indicates he wants to push this. I mean, he could have just pushed that right away. I don't understand. Or should I take? A queen takes here. Take. Or maybe just takes, queen takes, and put the knight there. In case he pushed, we don't take. Or maybe just take here. I'm just gonna take the pawn. In case he takes with anything, I'm just gonna play bishop to d3, adding more pressure on the pawn on h7. But I'm pretty sure he wants to take with the knight. Because taking with the knight is more, active, because you're gonna take this knight and... Okay, now your bishop is dead. Or am I just... Okay, bishop to d3, adding more pressure on the pawn. The bishop cannot get in the game unless he wants to play bishop to a6, trading the bishops. Maybe at that point we'll play knight to b5, but he takes. Yeah, I don't think that I'm gonna trade the bishops. Like, no way in hell I'm gonna trade the bishops. This knight is not really that active, so maybe we can play knight to b5. But then he goes bishop here takes because that's his only option. Now we take back with the bishop, and then wow, this move, what can he do? Well, with this move he can plant the knight there, so we can play knight to b5, he can play knight to e4, but then I take, knight takes, he takes me here. Wow. So what am I supposed to do? If I play bishop to c2 and then try to, so bishop to c2, I'm trying to play queen to d3 to add pressure more on this side. Here, what does he play? He doesn't have this because we always have the knight takes. So I think I'm just gonna slide back, bishop to c2. I want to preserve my strong bishop. I know that his bishop is also strong, but I'm not gonna castle. I want to use my rook as an attacker. So maybe by playing a3, b4, b5, attacking the bishop is forced to go back. Then we play a4, in case he pushed, take, the queen can always go back. It's really risky for him to go bishop takes g3 because I'm just gonna open up for the rook. This is number one. Number two, I want to play a3, b4, b5, attack the bishop. Therefore, we can play this, queen here, adding more pressure. Then maybe we can pin the knight here, and then we can take it, threatening some checkmate. I have a really simple idea. This. But what can he do? Maybe he can play this knight to c6, and if I play this, I'm stopping him from playing this, attacking my bishops, which is nice. So he might develop his knight. I might go a3. He might take, but as I said, it's not really a good option. And I'm not really interested in castling right now because I know that the bishop is really strong, but it's not really annoying me. But I'm pretty sure we have to play a3. What about bishop to b4, a3 takes. He's gonna make a target out of this pawn, and I cannot really shut down this. So wow, bishop to b4, and I attack, forces this isolated pawn, and there's no way to block the bishop vision. So maybe bishop to b4 is more active right now. Bishop to b4, I think we have to play queen to d2 in case we take with the queen, because we still want to preserve the pawn push at least. I don't know, my opponent's taking a lot of time, which is really really simple. Just develop your knight here or develop your knight there, trying to go for the e5 push, put the rook there, always play this to stop my knight from entering the game with the queen in case the knight moved anywhere. But I'm pretty sure like knight to c6 or bishop to b4, one of these two moves are really good, because bishop to b4 threatening to take, ruin the pawn structure, isolate the pawn, and there's no way to actually block the bishop unless I'm gonna go for a bishop trade, and therefore I'm not gonna have an attack on him anymore. So taking here is not a good option. Developing the knight is good. Pinning my knight, it is good, but I have to play queen to d2 then, because if he takes me, I take with the queen. Okay, this is the idea. The knight here is actually a little bit strong, controlling some squares, but I don't think that we can play knight to g5 because he can easily push me, and we don't have like a knight there or bishop check or anything, or the queen sliding in because of this strong knight. Pinning this knight to the queen, he can just play bishop to e7, unpinning himself, and after I play knight to g5, he can just simply attack me. So it doesn't really work to go pinning this knight. He's taking a lot of time to think. We're just in the opening phase. I know that I always, use a lot of time as well, but this is very simple. Just develop your pieces, develop the knight to a more active square so that you can play rook to c8, adding more pressure on the pieces. The bishop is really controlling some squares. Bishop here is also strong. Trying to go here to push this pawn, maybe. Like not right now, after you develop the knight and the rook, so that he can push. He can actually play knight to h5, attacking me, but it still opens up for me. At this point, I'll be really happy because I can just queen to e7. Yeah, that I don't understand. Queen to e7, what is the idea? You want to use the rook here? Well, the rook will be trash in the corner, so why this rook? Queen to e7, what does it do? You want to push, I can just go take, that's a fork, you cannot take, you're losing a piece, so it's not really he wants to push this. Maybe then he wants to develop the knight, or the knight here or here, trying to support this push. Do we care? I don't think so, because then we can play bishop to h4, pinning the knight here to the queen, and he cannot really attack me. So this will be very, very annoying. He has to move his queen somehow. So bishop to h4, because if he takes knight take, or just play a3, stopping him from playing this when we want to push, we want to attack, I'm gonna put the queen here. I think let's go for this plan, stopping the bishop from pinning me. Also trying to go b4, b5, blockading the bishop, because maybe we might castle. Maybe not, so it's not really clear. And also, if the knight moved here or here, trying to push this pawn, we take, knight takes, bishop takes, and then maybe we play here, bishop to h4, pinning him, but then he can move his queen anywhere, because if I take, he's not going to get double pawns because the bishop can take. And the knight here is not really strong, so maybe we have to play bishop to h4, pinning him, and then we push this. But then he can play this no matter what, but then we can play knight here. Oh, this is the idea. Maybe I was supposed to play bishop to h4 right away. Well, bishop to h4, what am I threatening after that? Like, let's say he developed... What? What do you want? What? You blockaded your bishop. You helped me, bro. I can play b4 now. After I play b4, does he kind of sacrifices? No, the queen can always go there, defending. The rook will be here, adding some trouble. Yes, that might be a sacrifice. This he might sack. Queen here, plays rook there, attacking the knight twice, and if I move the knight, getting queen straight, I think we're fine. But my idea, I want to play bishop to h4, and if you develop the knight or the rook there, then we can play knight to g5, attacking the pawn. And if he push, we can play knight to h7. You cannot take, you lose your queen. And if you move your rook, I'm going to go knight takes knight, and you're forced to take with the pawn, trashing your pawn structure. So bishop to h4, what does it blunder? Bishop to h4, you cannot move the knight because I'm going to lose the queen. And bishop to h4, if you move your queen, you just wasted the move. So bishop to h4 is good, but what is the consequences of this move? He can play b4, but I can go takes, bishop takes, that's fine. Then we can play our plan like this. And he cannot attack me because of this move, and he cannot take because you lose your queen. So here, he plays this, we take, bishop takes, we play the knight here, he takes, we take. And maybe he just moves the queen away. Or he just moves the queen away, so it's not really a good thing. So blame b4, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen to d2, rook to c8, just knight back, and he doesn't have anything, unless he went here, trying to add more pressure on the bishop, but I can just move it out of the way. So here, takes, queen to d2, rook to c8, knight back. He plays this, but then we can go rook to c1. I'm really sure that this is the best move. Why this is the best move? Because I want to play bishop to h4, pinning the knight to the queen, and then I want to play queen to d3, threatening checkmate. Because the knight cannot take it. Because when we're gonna take the knight first, then we're gonna let's go b4. Maybe now he can play rook to c8 right away, attacking the knight, but then we can play queen to d2, or simply just move the knight away, blockading the strong bishop, also controlling some squares in here, and also defending like this. I think if you went rook to c8, we have to play knight to e2, but then there's sack, take, and we go queen here. He does play this, but then we attack him. No. Yeah, he played that. So I'm pretty sure knight to e2, or queen to d2. Queen to d2, what does it blunder? Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, the knight is pinned to the queen. If I move the knight, there's nothing. But if I play knight to e2, what am I doing here? That I'm controlling this square and it's defending this bishop, because the knight is not really looking at anything. So knight to e2, blockading also this double twice, like, okay, knight to e2 does seem like a good move. But knight to e2, if I move the knight anywhere else, the queen cannot really get in, like on this side, so the queen has to go on d3. So knight to e2, what does he have? Takes, we take with the pawn, you push your pawn, the knight is going to live there. There's no reason not to play knight to e2, there's no attack whatsoever on me. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen to d2. You play this, I can play rook to c1 defending the bishop. I can also go over just, no, if he went here, I can just go bishop takes here, and when you take with the knight or the king, you're going to lose your queen. So it's not really a good move to sacrifice the bishop whatsoever. And if bishop takes, we take with the pawn, you put the knight here, this is the annoying thing. Oh, what is the idea? The knight cannot really get in anywhere. What? Oh, he's trying to double up on the bishop, maybe this is his idea. But then I can play bishop to h4. What are you going to do against bishop to h4? Oh, then he can move the queen away because it's not really pinned anymore. But then I can play knight to g5, you push me. Huh. This is my only option to open up the rook, but I don't think he's an idiot to actually take it. So maybe we have to play bishop to h4, or maybe knight here. If knight takes, we take with a pawn. So knight here, you take with the bishop, I take with the pawn. Then he's going to have some chances of, no, wait, here takes, no, here takes with the bishop, then we go here, taking with the pawn, the knight moves somewhere else, maybe there, then we go knight to d4, blockading all the pawns, but also defending this bishop, and if he takes, now we take and open up with the rook. Okay, so knight to e5 does seem like a good move, but what does it do? Knight here, maybe opens up for the queen somehow. I can play knight to e5. If bishop takes, we take with the pawn, the knight is hanging, he goes here, then we play knight to d4, and after he takes, he can win this pawn, but he's gonna lose that pawn. Very weird. But after this move, maybe he can play right away knight to h4, knight to h5, attacking me. At that point, maybe we just take, queen takes, and we go bishop takes, queen takes, then we put the knight here, and when he attacked me, I made a weakness. I mean, come on, knight to e5 or bishop to h4, or castle. Castling seems very, very natural, very important move, but I just want to attack. I want to add pressure. And also stop this push. I'm just going to play it. Knight to e5. If this... Yeah, what about that move? Yeah, against this move, we take. He takes here. And then we take, opening up for some kind of attack. And if he takes with the bishop, we go take with the pawn. What? Okay, now I don't understand. How the fuck do I have less time than him? So knight takes is the best because you don't want to get pinned. But then we go here, trying to go there, but then you can easily push. Maybe it's the best move to castle. I think it is the best move just to castle and just be safe. It is the best move, so just stop being weird. Maybe queen to d3 was actually even good, because then if the knight takes or the bishop takes, we take with the pawn, the knight has to move, and when the knight moves away, this is going to be some checks. So maybe queen to d3 was better than castling. I just find the best move when I do the wrong move. It's just crazy. The bishop here is completely useless because the pawn is still in your face. Now if he takes and I take with the pawn, then I'm gonna lose the pawn here. But if I play queen to d3 and you take me here, I give you a check, you move here, that's going to be checkmate. So queen to d3, queen to d3, if he takes, that's a blunder. So queen to d3, maybe he plays this. Then, what do we play? Then we play takes, and queen takes, then we go bishop takes. Okay, queen to d3. If you take this, a blunder because of that's checkmate. neither take. You cannot take anything of my pieces. You have to play it in a g6. And when he plays g6, then I take the knight, but then he can take with the bishop, and I can give him a check, forcing the queen to take for absolutely no reason. How do I have 7 minutes? I swear I was like up to 3-4 minutes. So this is a legitimate threat. He has to protect by playing g6. This is the only move. And after g6, maybe we can play bishop to h4. Because if the queen takes, we go knight takes knight. But what does it do though? What does it do? Oh my, that's a good move, or what it is? I was looking right away at knight to g6, but it's not really a good move because you can just take, and when bishop takes here. Yo. Okay, what about knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes, queen takes. Then we go knight where? We go knight here, attacking the pawn and the knight, and if he takes us, we take, and we're gonna have an attack on the pawn. Or maybe just use the knight to go back. What is the idea of going there? What is the idea? Well, we're still controlling the center, but he can push this. But if I go takes here, then I take a queen takes. Then I play knight here, and when you take me, I take and open up an attack on this pawn, but he can easily play this. I'm not gonna overthink it. Queen takes. Should I play bishop to e5, bishop takes, pawn takes? We're blockading the 3 pawns, but it's not for my own advantage because maybe he can take here. Who knows? But if he takes, we take with this pawn. But the rook is not really helpful. Oh yeah, this is exactly what he just did. I can go here. If you take me, I take your rook attacking your queen. So I can play this, and this move weakens his pawn structure even more. Knight to b6, I think it's a good move, but knight to b6, he has knight takes e2, and when you take with this, he can take you. Now we just lost a piece. So this only does not work because of this stupid check. Shame. That could have been a good move. We can give this check though, but the queen can take. Okay, then we take with the pawn. Or with the knight, because when you take, he's gonna somehow... Oh. If I take with the pawn... If I take with the knight, there's just bishop takes, pawn takes, you play queen takes. Just be solid. Just be solid. Queen takes. We don't have queen takes here because it's protected now. What about knight here? He can just push. I can go here. I think this is a good move, and when he takes, I can take it like this. Let's just develop the knight into a more active square. I think he's gonna take it. The knight here is really, really strong. You cannot push because this is going to be a threat of a fork, and you have to protect against it. Or this. That's even better. But you just lose a pawn, right? Queen takes here, we lose the knight, yeah, we lose the knight. And after we play like a move like this, he can now push. But if I take and bishop takes, you're gonna lose this one, right? But after this and bishop takes, there's attack on this. So here, bishop takes, and I just play rook to c1. Then you take me here, now he's gonna open up his bishop. Oh my gosh, what's happening? I think we have to take. He's gonna take with the bishop delightfully. And what do we have? Do I have queen takes, bishop takes, here, here? Does this just win a pawn? Queen takes, bishop takes, you take my rook, I take yours. If you save the rook, if you save the bishop back, I just take you here. That's idiotic, so you have to take me or take me with the rook. So wait, here, what about he just takes, he loses the queen. So queen takes, he doesn't have any checks, this is very good. So queen takes and the queen takes, bishop takes. You move your rook here, attacking my bishop, but then I have a check. Then I can save my... I think this is just wins a pawn, right? Queen takes f5. Queen takes f5, queen takes... I don't need to think over it. We should not be thinking over it. Like we should not be thinking. I think that this move wins a pawn. Let's find out if it actually wins a pawn or not. Because if queen takes, bishop takes, the rook is hanging. And if you play a rook to f8, attacking my bishop, I can play bishop to e6 check first. And then, you know, protect the by playing rook to d1, attacking the pawn. And this is going to lose the other pawn as well, which is really bad. And also this move, we're threatening to play queen takes h7, you play this, I give you a check, you move here, that would be another check, and then we can save the rook, so we're going to win another pawn. We're going to win another pawn, so he is forced to take, I play bishop takes, and I don't know what's going to happen soon. If he takes me here, a knight take, he takes with the rook or with the bishop, it doesn't make a difference, then we take here, then the rook will infiltrate on this, but I don't know. I just spotted that it is a free pawn. Hopefully it is. And these are protecting each other. There is, yeah, attacking this. You're gonna play rook to f8. We're gonna play bishop to e6 check. And then we're gonna play rook to d1, attacking the pawn. And if you take my rook, I'm gonna take yours. Your bishop is hanging, so you take me with the bishop or with the rook, then I'm gonna take this. And this pawn is weak, you cannot push it. And I'm gonna lay rook to d1. I'm sure that I'm good here. I'm a little bit low on time, but I don't think it makes a difference because of the beautiful 10-second increment, so it's really nice. Now it's a complicated situation for my opponent. What is he supposed to do here? He takes me, I'm gonna take your rook. Okay, and now we just take the bishop, right? What do you have? Yes, rook to c2 does make it sense, but rook to d1, rook to c3 stopping me from playing rook to d1 because he's gonna take the pawn. Okay. What? Rook to d1, you take here, I take with the knight, defending while also threatening a check. What is the why the check? Why the check though? I can play rook here, sorry, knight to e6, trying to put the knight there, attacking the bishop, stopping the pawn from being pushed. Then we do have this, takes. Rook to d1, he can just go takes. We go knight here. He goes maybe there. We do have a check. The king moves in, and we don't have anything. We're going to lose the pawn, so it's not really a good move. We can play knight here, knight to e2, attacking the rook. The rook moves here. We go here. We are blocking the bishop 100%. We're attacking this, and if you push, we're going to get in with the rook. I think this is more solid. Okay, knight to e2, attack the rook, and then try to play knight to d4. This bishop is completely trash because of this pawn and this pawn. So this is what we're trying to play against. And if knight to d4, the bishop can go actually to c8, but it doesn't really control important squares. And this is an isolated pawn that's going to be a target in the future, so I think that I'm actually better in this position. Knight to d4, beautiful, beautiful outpost for the knight. Okay, now what am I supposed to do? I think we have to use the king. Why though? I think we have to use the king. The rook cannot really do any damage here because of this double pawn. Yeah, your king is not gonna do much. Your king is not. My king is gonna do much, but your king is not. I want to play king to d2, rook to c1, and if you take me, I go takes. And my idea is to play king to c2, king to b3, push this pawn. You cannot put the bishop there, so I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take with the king, and I'm gonna go for this weakness, and the knight can reroute. Huh? King to d2, bro. Rook to c1 is coming at your face. You have to trade, then a king takes. What? I think for him to gain more time, he has to take my rook. But what I'm thinking about, rook takes, king takes. The king tried to get closer. I don't know how. The king cannot get closer. I just like king to c2, king to b3, push the pawn, take, and go for this reroute, attacking the bishop and the pawn. Am I crazy or what the hell is going on? Push your pawns. I have double pawns. This is the beauty of this. What is this move? It doesn't do anything. Oh, he wants to play this. So what about just playing here? The king get so wait, what if I play this and he played this and I push, takes. The king gets closer, but I think we have to play this. The king gets closer. The king is gonna start collecting some pawns, so maybe we have to play f3. F3 start pushing his own pawns. F3 we're gonna make a weakness here. F3. I'm gonna go for it. I'm not gonna allow this king to get closer. I'm gonna play king to b3, a4, takes, and go for this rerouting of the knight. When he moves the bishop away, I'm just gonna take, and if you take me, thank you. We have a passed pawn. Right, or am I freaking crazy? These two pawns cannot do anything because of this beautiful double pawns. Because this pawn is, can't be sacrificed to just double his pawns or do something, or I don't know. I can stop these two. The bishop cannot really participate in game. Wait, he can actually participate in this because now it's open. So now we cannot take, so we have to push, and now the king might get closer, but we always have king to c3. I'm sorry, but this is the worst move you can ever do in your entire life. I'm just gonna push here. You don't have this. And I'm gonna take, I'm gonna win the pawn. Yeah. What? I have knight to b3. Knight to b3 trying to go knight to c5, attacking the bishop and this. Now the bishop might be free, but it doesn't attack a weak pawn because it's protected. So knight to c5 is coming. That's even, but king to a5, you play bishop here, I play knight to d4, you play the bishop somewhere else back there, but then I push, but then you take, and that's going to be a maybe that's a good thing. This move will be possible, and the only way to stop it is by playing this. So maybe this here, play this. And now what? Maybe you have to push like this. But this pawn's going to be weak. Oh, come on, this bishop is. I did not even see this check. This here, we play this, he goes right here. Yeah. And now we push, putting the pawns or dark squares. The bishop will take here, we're gonna take this pawn and we're gonna push our own pawn. What? So here, attack the bishop goes all the way back, then we push this, and when he takes, he's gonna be losing this pawn. Hopefully I'm right, I don't know, am I crazy or what? You're gonna play this, but you don't have the poles to take this pawn, because you're gonna lose this pawn, and I have a passed pawn. So it's crazy how this, and you cannot push this one because it's going to be like a check and I'm going to win you here. I can play this, stopping the king from getting closer. You cannot take because I'm just going to take you here. And I'm going to push my king, I'm going to push the pawn over. You cannot play this because of check, I'm going to take the pawn. You can play this, but what am I supposed to do after that? I just play king here. Play king to b6 and give him the move. That's exactly what he just did. This does not weaken anything. We can always reroute. But is it like risky stuff? I don't know. I mean, take the pawn, bro, and lose the game. Why not? We cannot push because it's simply take, and bishop takes and king takes. And there's no movements like maybe I'm not gonna make it a draw whatsoever. I'm gonna earn 9 points if we win, and I'll reach my highest peak ever of 1820, which is crazy good. So I'm thinking about knight to b3. What is the idea? He's making a waiting move, right? This is a waiting move. But the problem with this move is controlling this square. And if I play this, he goes here, that's going to be a check and he's going to lose. So here, knight to b3, I'm threatening to play knight to c5, attacking the bishop, but also attacking the pawn. And when I take and bishop takes, king takes, you play here, I play here, and this is a best pawn, baby. So knight to b3 is good. But what does it blunder? Knight to b3, what does it blunder? He can play this, but I can always play here. Knight to b3, he moved the king away, that's going to be a check. This is a very, very serious threat. Wow. This is Endgame Masterclass by fucking 1800. I mean, he's even doing a good job, but he just blundered a pawn in attack of the rook. This is what he just did bad. He's gonna go for the pawn, going for the weakness. But does this help? I don't think so, because the pawn's on dark squares. Play knight to c5. Go. You take. I take. I take with the knight. No, I take with the king to stop the king from playing this, and he cannot play this, so the king cannot get close. So if bishop takes, we have to take with the king. You give me a check, that's alright. We don't push with the pawn because he might take and might do something. No, we can go for the weakness right away. This is very fun. This is the most amazing game I ever played in my life, because I'm just having fun. I'm not worried about time, even though I'm low on time, but I'm actually, my thoughts are really clear. This pawn is so weak you cannot defend, but the idea, like maybe after he takes and I take with the king, he might play this, which is annoying. And if I push the pawn, he can just go pin the pawn and he takes. Crazy. King takes, bro. I'm not gonna take with the knight and allow the king to get closer, because the knight is really important, stopping the king from getting closer to the pawns. What the frick? I can play knight here to give you a check, to support. I can support this, and if you take, I can play this. Wait, is he losing? Check, take, push, check, move. You move your king, you're gonna lose. I mean, I'm gonna make a queen, right? So b5, you take, I push here. You push your king, I get up. You push your king one more time, that's it. The bishop cannot really participate in the game because this pawn is in the face. So what about this? Takes here, and he pushes the damn pawn. Oh my god, this takes, push, he can push the pawn, and when I take and king takes, the bishop is stopping the promotion of this pawn. So we cannot sacrifice the knight. We can play knight to d3, threatening this check, winning this pawn. So this is a really major threat. But this move pins the knight. But then I have a check. Oh my god, knight to d3, bishop to f1, check, the king moves somewhere else. Then we do have this attack, but then he cannot even play this. Here, check. The king is forced back, then we're gonna play this. And there's nothing. Wow, this move is amazing. Bishop to f1, he thinks that he's pinning me, but b5, check, move away. Now my knight is free and we can play knight to a5, attacking the weak pawn. You cannot really defend it because the knight is holding the square. Wow, I never played so good in my life. Damn, I never played so good. But it's not really like obvious what am I supposed to do next because the pawn cannot be pushed. Except, well played. Thank you. Did great. You did great. Is he gonna resign the game because he just said well played? Or what? Is he gonna continue the game? I don't know. I mean, he can still fight, but I don't know how. Okay, what about sacrificing the bishop to lose the passed pawn? And when I take here, I'm gonna have like this one. I mean, he cannot really actually do anything. He sacrificed it. Wow. Yeah, now we take. You cannot push the pawn. You can push here, but I can just take you. Now I think we have to play knight here. Or maybe just move the king. Move the king. You cannot move your king because you're going to lose this pawn. That's unfortunately a check, but then you can play here, but I can push the pawn. Let's play this check. We go here defending. Now we can push our pawn. Play this, defend the pawn, but I can play f5, f6, f7, f8. There's no stopping me. You can take these two pawns, but whenever you push this one, I'm just gonna take it. Now we take this one. We should not be allowing counterplay, guys, okay? He plays this, we don't care, just push. You take here. Should we give him the... I should play this. He goes here, I move here. So there's no reason to lose. No reason to lose the piece. He plays king to g4, we play king to e5. If he pushes the pawn, we can take, and push our pawn to make a queen, and that's it. That's the move. He can play this, you freaking bozo. But I can play here. I can play here. You go, I take. You move, I push. You cannot play this, so just here. The king cannot go there. So maybe if he pushes and I take, that check and he goes here, let's give him a check, he moves there. He resigned. Oh, there was a draw maybe. I'm 1820, guys. 1820. Did he have h4? No. h4 just make a queen. He cannot really keep pushing because always the knight gonna go there, and this is going to be, because if I thought about this check here, another check, and the king goes there for safety, and this is going to be a draw unless I move the knight somewhere. But he can, yeah, it's not a draw. Where's the game review? What? I hope that they give me the game review. Nice. 86.3% accuracy. He played the 78.1. I'm telling you, like, when I have time, I play the best chess ever. When I have time. So this is great when I play 15-minute games. I'm really happy. So we're gonna start the game review. We started d4, d5, c4. Queen's Gambit declined. No, this is... What? They call it Semislav? Isn't this what they call Queen's Gambit declined, or what the hell? You gave up a pawn. Shut up, I did not give up pawn. I can play a4. And when you go here, take, take. What? Takes here, push, take, take. And he can play queen to a5, pinning the knight. And when I go here, he can just push and defend. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Maybe I was supposed to take first and then get out with the bishop, but this move blockaded the bishop, so he did not even spot it. He was supposed to take. I went back, he castled, I played now e3. Very nice, now we're back to equal. I took the pawn, he takes back, bishop to d3, developing, he wants here to pin the knight to the king. Yes, the best move. What was it? Take. Well, I just like the idea of my bishop being attacking this line, because now actually with this move he has bishop to b4. This is what I was talking about. He was supposed to play bishop to b4, right? Exactly. I played this, which is perfect. I played b4. Hopefully it's the best move. It is not. You missed an opportunity to attack a pawn chain. You permitted the opponent to take an open file with a rook. What? Strike at the center. This is what they say. Okay, but it's not really a threatening move, though. That was the weirdest move that he made. I told you. You ignored an opportunity to attack a pawn chain. You allowed the opponent to kick a knight. What? There's no way in hell I would play ever in my life g4. Oh, if he takes, that's going to be some... So maybe it's kind of justifiable, you know. Okay, the idea here, when he attacked me like this, I'm going to go here and, you know, threaten a fork and something. That was a blunder, because we take with the pawn, he takes with the bishop, and now we go queen takes. This is the best move sequence, and now we're up 2 points. 2 points? Yeah, 2 plus for white, because he just lost the pawn. This is the only move that works, and you found it. I mean, obviously, rook takes bishop, I'm gonna play like down the piece. What the hell? It is the best move to go back and to go for this outpost. Very nice endgame move to just make this bishop trash. But this move was bad. Whoa, whoa, what was I supposed to do? Okay, why? Why this move? Maybe not to allow any kind of like expansion on the h5. Maybe. Moving the king was very nice. What is better for me? This move. This move, man. Rook to c1. Yes, it is the best move. I'm really happy that my endgame skills are getting better and better and better. There's no like big mistakes in the game. That was the best move, thank God, because I was really afraid of having this weak pawn isolated and stuff. And c4 is the best. Takes, takes. There's nothing to be done. He pushed the king, and this more doesn't help either. King here. Oh, because after I play knight to b3, he doesn't have this check, because now he's gonna lose the pawn. Oh, does make sense. It does make sense. Very nice. But still was good. Still was good. You missed an only good move that only spent... What? What? Making my knight just going there to defend, that's crazy. That was the only move. You said it was a great move. Bishop here was bad. You remember the opponent to outpost the bishop. Outpost the bishop? What are we supposed to do? So what? Outpost a bishop. I can play knight to c5. I'm gonna take you. You go take. You put the king there. I go here. You go here. I don't know. That was a miss. What he was supposed to do? What? d4? What happens if I take? He maybe play this, so then I can just... But it's still losing, you know? That was the best. He pinned me, thinking that he was winning the game, but he was not, because I have a check. And now it's like completely lost. Just collect the pawns. Another check. Very beautiful. Nice. Just nice. Played like a 2050. He like an 1800. He played very, very good, but he just blundered a pawn. I mean, it's crazy how like at this level, just blundering a pawn, it just dead. You just lost. That's it. But he just blundered like before the endgame phase, which is really bad. And then he went for all of this trade. I mean, if you're gonna lose a pawn and you're gonna go for a trade, you're the one who's losing the game, because why the hell you're gonna go for trades if you're down material? It doesn't make any sense. So 1820, guys. 1820. I was like 1750, 17 like this, 1750, and I was on a losing streak. And now 1820. So always when you're losing, just make sure that you're playing good games. You're just having fun, okay? I care about the rating, but I'm having fun. This was the best endgame I ever played in my life. I mean, the endgame they gave me 83.4. You suck. It was supposed to be 90 because I did not blunder anything in the endgame. So the middle game and the endgame are supposed to be, you know, the same. But very, very nice game. I'm gonna see you in the next video.